for a great time, and I feel like Ruler in this composition, interestingly enough, is actually not really going to be the main carry, unless you're in a position where like you find big leads, right? Like it kind of changes the equation. But generally, I'd be looking more toward Rascal or BDD or Clid finding early game leads and then leveraging that, because the Udyr will lose effectiveness. And then if you get one of your other solo laners really far ahead, you can park them in the side lane and you can play kind of okay in a Kai'Bek situation. The problem that I have with the comp from Gen G is that if they fall behind again, I think this comp also does not play well if they can't play forward, right? Like that is not a position you want to be in, especially with how strong like the big ultimate combos are on the side of Afreeca.
Yeah. There's going to have to be some smoke and mirrors, it feels like, out of Gen G as we hop onto the Rift for game number 2.
Always recognize those.
Well, not anymore. The redemption a little bit harder to gather at the moment as now Lahen's taking a lot of damage. Life just sticking to him. There's the flash out and first blood goes to Ruler. We mentioned the fact that it doesn't matter which support this guy has on the Aphelios because he's just so damn good. Now they're looking for the second one as he gets the snare as well. The Calibrum comes through, gets his second proc. It's not quite enough. Oh my goodness. This is angry Gen G and they are so scary.
Oh no. I've seen this one before.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't mean as much. And I'm pretty sure that Ruler and Life can now just freeze the lane here, clear his bot side, and that means that we're going to see a huge chest lead fly!
Yeah. Oh, gets the last auto, and PDD solo killing in the mid lane. Yeah, this is angry Gen G is not just on the bottom side. It has now infected the mid lane, and Clid looking to try and take that towards the top side.
Afreeca, well, the comp allows it, is a team to me that traditionally has had a really rough time playing from behind. They get randomly caught. And maybe they want to try and contest here. It's greedy, though.
Yeah, Scatter the Weak does go wide, so that's a bit of CC now on cooldown as Rascal's going to move on in. 3 versus 4, and in goes Life. Solar Flare goes completely wide. 3-man Shockwave from Fly, though, is cleared. Has to get out. Rascal goes back in, though, and he's just dead. Oh, no, he's not exactly having the greatest day, as that's a brilliant cast out of Lahen's. And Afreeca take control once again. Going to be put down, and this should be the turret eradicated. Fantastic use of Shelly as well, just to make sure that all of the value is picked up. And that is just going to brute force. Another advantage for Keen here towards the top side. In a matchup that can go both ways, we've seen Camille do well into the Gnar, but weak side Camille not going to have nearly that level of power as Shelly gets a second charge. She is certainly working overtime today. A lot of value out of that piece of shellfish as in goes. Rascal doesn't quite find the hook shot, and he's going down extraordinarily low. Dread tries to slap him as he does walk away. Shockwave comes in. Easy dissonance for the kill. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, Ruler is continuing to just be an absolute beast as Bang's going to have to flash to get out of the way of that spear that could have just spelled his death.
Yes, late 2 kills. And yes, the jungler was there, but that was not why the kill was found. But they're sacrificing their top side. And these are again the kind of plays where normally as Gen G you have a lead where this actually works out. You find the kill, right, and then you possibly get away with it. But instead now you're like trying to all in a situation where you're not really allowed to. And yeah, Lance is just getting sacrificed.
Oh my god. The flash into perfect, like, he doesn't, there's no like hesitation at all. That flash looked aggressive.
Yeah.
Rather than a defensive flash, which it absolutely was. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god, Ruler.
And it's so easy to forget how high level this really is as Rascal finds Keen.
Yeah, in a rough position as that is going to be, very almost getting himself out. But,
I am giving you credit even when you make mistakes. That's not an excuse to immediately stop making mistakes. Ruler.
Yeah, Dread is going to find him here as the barrel comes down. Ruler's trying to get the damage back, but Dread just tanky enough.
And it's interesting because Gen G to me are still playing like they are very much ahead.
Whoa, that's a big flash forward as the stun comes down. Dread's going to easily be able to pick that one up as Keen gets into position just a little bit too late. And Life with the defensive Solar Flare stops the Gnar from coming over. Right there just yet as Life getting it slowed down by the barrel. Bit of a slap there from Dread as Keen with his Gnar bar in a pretty good position right now for starting off this dragon. And Clid finally gets back down. The orb in the spot just to try and block them off here, and this will be a guaranteed Drake take for Afreeca. Can they get a turnaround kill is the answer here as Life going to have to flash out. Keen looking for a position on the Gnar.
while I like the idea of that play, in terms of tempo, I don't even think it's necessarily worth it as
Life is going to get booped back. The Eclipse doing a lot of work mitigating as there's the Shockwave to bring him back in. Just the one pick, but what can Afreeca get for it is the answer, and behind at the moment after the clinic that Ruler put on towards the bottom side. This 1 versus 3 is going to be just won by Dread, I guess, who walks up, slaps the blue buff, and takes it down. Does deny it from Fly, so it's not all bad news for Gen G. For himself, his Leandri's already complete. As Keen looks for Rascal and finds him here towards the bottom side. The chain CC is really nice as he cops about 3 houses to the back of the head. Another one will spell the end, and he doesn't even need it. Just slaps him in the face, and another solo kill for Keen.
Don't like this. Teleport's available. Keen can come from the back.
Yep, Keen has a really nice Gnabar at the moment. No, actually, he is Mega Gnar still. So, that is going to wear down, and Gen G is going to back away from the Baron. So that was a brief window where Afreeca could have actually fought that one with Keen's Flash and Gnar available.
The thing here is, as Gen G, that's a free Drake. You can just walk towards the Dragon Pit, right? You can clear the vision, make use of the tempo that you found out with that. Honestly, pretty good skirmish, right? Like, everyone on the side of Afreeca needs to back. There's no way they're ever going to contest that. But you go for a Hail Mary Baron, which you can peel away, which they did. But I feel like it's not a risk that's ever really going to work out, right? 2 teleports are up, which you have forced as
Keen. That Hyper is doing so much work. He's got the Sterix completed now as well, on top of his Stridebreaker. Like,
I think the thing with Gen G's comp is that, like, even though this gold feels very even, they go for the engage.
Yeah, Rascal going back in again. There's the Shockwave, and immediately he's going to get taken down extraordinarily low. Stopwatch going to now be utilized. But Gen G, I think, lost a little bit more in that exchange. That being said, they still have the Unleashed Power, Moonlight Vigil, and in goes Dread once again. Keen finds a wallop onto Ruler as he flashes and trades with the Aphelios. Now Afreeca going to back away, but that is so valuable. Ruler now has no QSS, no flat. I wanted the Killer Instinct, but then BDD and Ruler were in the mid lane, and that would have been instant death there for Bang, as Shockwave is going to pull back Cleared, who just can't get into the enemy jungle at all. He has to use his Zhonya's, and that is going to mean that they grab the kill onto Lehends. In the end, it actually worked out very well for Clid. However, we did see how dangerous it is to venture beyond the river.
They can't land a couple of spears or some Syndra poke as Ruler.
In goes the bear slap, and Ruler is absolutely dead. This is the setup. The slap into Killer Instinct.
Flash?
Yeah. He's a sitting duck, or a sitting Aphelios, I guess. The duck is actually Dread. And this is a big opportunity now for Gen G.
This is the one thing
no! Lehends also going to be taken down. Fly. He was thinking about using that Shockwave, but unfortunately, no one was there to follow up, and it wouldn't have done anything at all. And now Gen G are just going to be able to pick up a Baron for themselves. And as I was talking about the fact that this comp is more difficult to run, they find exactly that pick that you were talking about. And it's about all she wrote on this Baron. Gen G even able to move over and challenge for this blue buff as well, as Fly not able to grab anything. Shockwave just out of frustration more than anything else. He's after them. Not wanting to use his flash though, as you can see, as that's an empowered recall. It's going to get Clid out of there. BDD now sort of on his lonesome as a cute little flash out from Keen. Oh my god, BDD does a lot of damage. However, Keen going to survive for now. Is looking to bait a little bit more, as there's the Zhonya's, and Bang is going to be able to pick up the kill in the end. So, Gen G utilizes that space given in order to take down this inner turret in the mid lane. Rascal does the same thing on the top side of the map, and actually I think Gen G got more out of this. If Bang can pop off in this next team fight, it could be a good thing, as Gen G looking to go for it. Rascal with a great flanking angle right now as Afreeca do lock down that Cloud Drake. Life flashing on top of Keen. They understand where the power is for Afreeca, but Keen gets the Mega Gnar at exactly the right time. Life going down low as Rascal into the backline. The Gnar doesn't quite do enough as he manages to pick up the kill, but Bang's already dead in this one. Clid going to be limping out of there as Lehends trying to tidy up and Fly. Oh my god, the damage from Rascal now as Gen G look to be fully charged up, and they do close in on Afreeca and take them down.
That might very well be the end of the game. Yeah, Dread trying to clear the wave as much as he can. The new wave is coming in. Teleport from Rascal just to gain priority here. And we've reached that point of late game inevitability that specifically the Camille has, but it's really just how well Gen G play out that fight. Rascal with the flank there finds Bang immediately, and something that we haven't talked about there is that Afreeca doesn't actually have that much damage in that comp at this point in time, right? Like, it's Orianna and Kai'Sa mostly, and if Kai'Sa gets blown up without being able to do anything with the flash still up...
Oh, we're slapping everyone! As the Nexus is going to be taken down. He goes golden for a little bit here as Bang dives on forward. Rule is going to be executed, but so is the Nexus, and that is the main thing. Gen G! That helps us figure out who is deserving of the POG. And look, I know who you voted for, and I'd be pretty confident if I was you, having a look at some of these numbers. But once again, it feels like Keen against the world, and Afreeca are going to be moving back to the red side, and red side does seem powerful, especially in this matchup.
And especially with how Keen has been playing today.
Absolutely.
Although, to give credit to Rascal, I am impressed with the fact that he basically got slapped the entire game, and then he finds what might not be a game-winning flank in of itself, but definitely he found a solo kill there on Bang in that fight. Like, he came in from the back of the pit, he was not spotted, he hookshot it in, literally 100-0 to Kai'Sa, and that was one of the main reasons why that final teamfight looked so one-sided. Yes?
Genji is taking us to game number 3 with that win in game 2. In the draft, Afreeca this time around was the team first picking Udyr, and then they completed the carry comp with Kai'Sa Orianna. It was really interesting to see the decision making coming out from Genji. They actually just went straight, or rather stick to their original plan. They didn't really get affected by the picks from Afreeca Fricks. Kai'Sa Orianna pick is definitely a right pick for Afreeca because Orianna is a champion that can boost up the speed of Udyr, and Kai'Sa can make a lot of follow-up play together with Udyr. So this 3 comp is very ordinary and a typical comp that we can see together with Udyr in the first rotation of the pick. But Genji, they just looked so calm. They didn't really get affected by the picks coming out from Afreeca, so they also answered back with follow-up jungle, mid, and AD carry picks. Looking at the first 3 picks, Afreeca Fricks did have edge over kind of Genji, but at the same time, Gragas into Leona didn't really seem like a good pick. And Alistar was banned out, which means Leona had no counter pick on the laning phase, or rather, in the entire game. And because Genji was able to play around their bottom side, well, Afreeca Fricks had to retreat faster than it was expected, and Aphelios and Leona together was able to get ahead faster than they normally do. Keen was able to have a great performance throughout this game, but still, Rascal also had this game-ending clutch play at the later phase of the Dragon fight. But let's take a look at the first Herald fight right here. Keen made some fantastic move to turn the fight around. So Leona is always standing in this very vague limit. So Leona wanted to go in for an engage, but still Keen perfectly delivered her to the backline and made her get disconnected. So Nar was able to dodge the skill and still take away this Leona to the backline. And Leona's ult also went wide. Leona usually go with EQ combo, and that really works well if you go in for a very short range. But because of the skill got casted so late, well, that combo didn't really work well. Maybe ERQ combo could have been better in order to secure a CC onto the enemies. So Leona just had to use her skills in order to survive that, but she was not able to walk away alive. However, it was Genji that was able to close out the game in the end. So let's take a look at this game-ending teamfight that was perfectly maneuvered by Rascal. I think Afreeca as a team, they had no heads-up for Camille. Camille was in the vision prior to this moment, but still, because the fight got too extended, they lost track of this top laner in the back line, and that flank play came in clutch, and it costed Afreeca Fricks this game. Rascal even committed his flash in order to lock down the kill onto Kai'Sa. It's really hard to state that Bang is not having a good day here. It's rather Afreeca Fricks lost their kind of track of the opponent top laner as a team. They did not get enough vision prior to the Dragon fights and stuff like that. Genji is 1 game away, extending their winning streak, and the POG will go over to BDD on Syndra. He was dominating this game from the laning phase till the end, and that Scatter the Weak was actually super critical for Genji to turn the game around. It all started with BDD's CC engage. Solo kill on the mid lane, and also he was able to make a lot of picks with that solo CC engage. Even though Udyr was in a very close proximity, he was brave enough to just flash forward because he had this confidence that he's just gonna land that engage. And so many picks that started off with the Scatter the Wick from BDD by himself. We had a lot of AP versus AP matchup throughout the LCK. And we kind of realized that AD champions can also step ahead, moving on to the later phase of the game. But still, if you can't play Syndra this well, Mage champion is also still very OP. And BDD gets the unanimous POG with that Syndra performance. Afreeca Freaks was able to break their losing streak up against Genji, a 13-0, but this time around it has to be connected to a match victory. So let's head over to game number 3.